New York.
So it was in New York first, at New Amsterdam. Then they moved it to Philadelphia. Then they moved it to DC.
Philadelphia was the political capital, but
Okay.
the immigration port moved from Port Nola because we was fighting war in the Gulf.
That's right, against the French. Yeah.
So we had to open up our immigrants on another part of the land. And we also fighting the Spanish Armada on the West Coast. You got to remember that too.
Yeah.
We got to remember that California was defending themselves against the Spaniards. It wasn't California, it was a territory.
Go ahead.
It became California when they chartered it under the Spaniards. It became New Mexico when they annexed it from Mexico. It became Texas when they annexed it from Mexico. But other than that, they had different names. Right now, if Texas want to secede from the Union, they can break up into as many as 5 different states or nations based on geography. They the only state in the Union that kept that right.
Hey, QT Jones, QT Jones, funny man. It's about why the Moors not still around. Why haven't they been eliminated?
Because all of the Moors ain't bad.
Yeah, that's right.
I keep telling everybody, you got 2 factions of Moors. You got the righteous Moors and the dirty Moors. The term Moor is the catch term to put us under for us to fight the war of an intellectual conflict out.
Yeah.
Right? To educate ourselves above the condition. Now, the problem is when they elders become elders and go back to where they come from, that with they elders keeping us in line. Them the dirty Moors. By using the extension groups like the United States Corporation, like the JDL, the ADL, right? The country over there that they call Israel. All of those are distractions and things to use as shields to continuously keep us from realizing that we have to educate ourselves about a condition. There's no other way out. You have to be able to clearly see the deception, but they have to put everything in the public domain so you can figure it out. As long as it's in the public domain, then somebody got to put it together. Right? Somebody got to put it together and explain it and then show you where they found it in the public domain. Right? And the places that they can put it in fiction. It's the same way they tell us fictional characters are really actual people. Like Nat Turner. The book, The Confessions of Nat Turner, is the origin of the story of Nat Turner. It's a fictional novel. But we don't want to, it was such a character that was so strong in face of the opposition of the era. We don't care if he was real or not. I'm a descendant of Nat Turner. It's the same way they talk. I'm the chosen people of God. If you got chosen I'm telling you now, if you got chosen to be better than somebody by God, your God is the devil.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Because only the devil want to make somebody feel like they're better than somebody else in order to get them to work for him. Right? You got it. The real God don't tell you that you better or less than anybody else. Right? The real God tell you that you your own individual self, be the best you can be, and don't worry about being better than nobody else. As long as you're the best version of you, it won't even be necessary because you're gonna shine on the world. Being yourself. But as soon as you try to be who society tell you to be, you trapped in your ego.
Yeah, like I said, man, if you still like some people gonna still be Christians, I ain't gonna even you could tell them about the doctrine of discovery. You could tell them, hey man, they put a gun in your head and made you to Christians. Like it's a hard pill to swallow at this point in time. But you should be past it already. We should be past that point of that. Okay, we got colonized by Christians.
You got to remember, people at different look. People at different levels of understanding. Everybody not on the same level.
Yeah.
We be walking around thinking we all on the same level. We not. Right? That don't make you better than nobody because you on a different level. It just make the level that you on responsible for something different.
Right.
Some of them people still haven't gotten over the understanding that they've been tricked.
Right.
Right? As long as the hypnotized person don't know you hypnotized, you can't break the hypnosis. Right?
Yeah.
So you need a sudden shock in order to jolt their consciousness. Right? But some of us you can give us the clues and we can begin to put together the picture. And once we see it, we can't unsee it. So when we act like we didn't see it, it's still cooking in the background. Eventually, the naysayer gonna become the supporter when they recognize that, wait a minute, that sounds too accurate for it not to be valid. Right? Because it ties to all of the receipts.
Hey, it's for here really a two-part question. What can they do to get active? Because somebody asked what was the female's job. Like you just explained it a little bit. And then could you go in what the males could do, the females and the males? This will be the last question. What can the females then and the males do to be active and be on a job right now as we go into all the stuff that we've been talking about, like far as the world?
So everybody got something that they do, right? All you got to do, first thing first, take care of your immediate family. Before you start trying to figure out where else to go look to do some work, make sure you can do the work at home first, right? And once you can do the work at home, then you want to help the community, then you assess how much time you need to put into the community, right? Because you could put in as little as an hour a day or as little as 2 hours a month, but you still have to figure out what you can do. How can you contribute? What are you capable of doing? Right? You can't tell any individual without knowing them what they should be doing at this time because you don't know what their skill set is. Right? So if you're going to activate, the fastest way to activation is the more people you get to that'll catch their ear to listen to the information. If we don't understand what's happening, then we're going to be behind. We're going to be part of the ones that see catastrophe when redemption is at hand. Because they're not going to be able to recognize the difference. There's a difference between a cataclysmic event and a purging event. One of them done for senseless violence, right? Like my little nephew just got took out today, which it was hard for me to do this knowing that, but it had to be done. But the senselessness of it on the one hand, or the gravity of the reality that somebody's going to have to be dealt with in order for nature to balance the situation. In other words, the repeat offender won't stop repeating until you stop him from repeating. Because once the pattern is established and the habit is formed, it's almost impossible for him to break if you find pleasure in it. So some of them, we got to stop them. And other ones, you leave them to their own devices, they'll stop themselves. But you got to know how to know the difference in the two. The one who has pseudo power, who think they're powerful, are the ones we going to have to actually remove. And I can't wait.
And you remember that? Hey, Rob, you remember that movie 300? what that dude, what that the Persian kings or the Persian soldiers came bringing the heads of other kings.
Versus.
Yeah, right. And then when he about to kick him in that hole, right? He looked back at his queen first. She did like this. And nigga said, once she gave him that handshake, it was over, man. She kicked him off up in there now, man. Once that queen said do it, oh man, nigga, I'm finna do you now. Oh yeah, you bring that to my doorstep. You should have thought choose your words kindly. This is Sparta. Boom, kicked him off. Kicked him.
That was one of my favorite parts.
Man, that's my favorite part, bro.
He said, "Only a madman would dare kill a messenger." He said, "You come to my door with the head of kings." He said, "You come." Hey, Leonidas tell him, "You come to my house with the heads of kings, threaten my people with slavery,
right,
and disrespect my queen."
Right? Oh yeah, yeah.
When he looked back at her, she said, "He was like, no, I'm not a madman. This is Sparta."
Once that queen gave him that nod, that was it.
The queen, he ain't got to do but kick that one, and his soldiers automatically knew what to do with the rest.
Get everybody else follow suit. It's always follow suit with them. Whatever he do, we do. You know what I'm saying?
Look, and they're going to tell you, look, I was looking up the Spartan suit because, you know, the Spartan helmet is supposed to be mimicry of a mohawk.
Right. That's right.
And we was the only ones wearing mohawks. African tribes didn't wear mohawks, but we did.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mohawk tribe.
Yeah.
She Black Hawk. They like now, and also that type of headgear. The Igigis, one group of the Igigis had that type of headgear. If you see the Etruscans, that's what they, you know, they show them. They show a statue of these two Etruscans grabbing the girl, like
they Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, like Marvin the Martian, and they were ant beams.
I'm going to slap you with my space modulator.
They called the Tarsissians, and they are a black ant species that came here, and they came down to talk to humans how to dig underground and dig these tunnels. And the Hopi talk about these people. The Hopi got some of like a lot of legends about these people coming down with these helmets, and those ant type of creatures, and they taught them how to go underground, survive, and dig underground, and this and that. They go into it. So yeah, man, we got to get up out of here, man. Everybody try to go to sleep, man. They want okay. I'm gonna get So yeah, Rob, we gonna come back with another one, man. This was hot right here. This is another one, you know, Friday the 13th. Free all the political prisoners. Big Mama's back on the land, right? Larry Hoop about to be free. Malachi about to be free. Everybody about to get out, man. This is the year. These next 2 years is the years where everything get put back like it was before they came. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Like the next 2 or 3 years, like within this span between now and 2030, everything go back to how it was. Well, we was happy-go-lucky, like Christopher Columbus said. They walking around like la 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 la. He said it was like that's how he was over here, man. We was having a blast over here before these people came. You know?
And they exploited our genetic memory, used it against us to give us false doctrines.
Man.
They sacrificed the blood of the righteous so that we'll follow their edicts called laws. Right? They did all this stuff, treated us bad, miseducated our children.
Right.
They poisoned the land, the air, and the water.
Yeah.
Now that should be against the goddamn law.
Yeah, he said that. He said their water was so crystal clear you can see to the bottom. Then after they come, it's so black you can't even see to the top. See at the top of it.
I was watching this Western. And this Italian dude dressed up like an Indian, he was telling the white man, he said, before the white man come, you could drink out water from any place.
Yeah.
He said, now our waters are sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I seen that. I think I seen that one. Yeah. They say you used to be able to take a cup and scoop out the top of the river and drink it. It was like drinking fresh spring water. But now the water black, the river's black, everything brown, dark black. And Christopher Columbus said he got crystal clear waters over there. Crystal clear waters, what he said. But we got to take this. We got to come and slaughter these people. These people, we got to take advantage. Who are these people, man?
Now, remember, he specifically, geography over here, pinpoint to the finest point. He's talking Jamaica. I mean, Haiti. He's talking the island of Haiti. Because the island, they named it Hispaniola.
Yeah.
When he left.
Yeah.
How you gonna take the people's name off their land and just put your name on it?
He just went around naming stuff. Oh, this ours. Oh, that's ours. It's El Salvador. Oh, that's, we're gonna take it all back.
And then they naming it after people.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I'm telling you, bro.
Haiti not named after no people. I mean, no Europeans. It's named after the people from the land. Haiti. That's a family heritage birthright land. That's why it's called Haiti.
Yeah.
They chose that name. The European didn't choose it for them. The colonizer didn't choose it for them. They the only one. The legend has it, Dirty Bookman the only one looked the devil in his face and when he challenged him and said, "Bring it on."
Yeah.
You see what you got.
That's
devil mean adversary.
Yeah.
Now remember that. Despookify the message and just put it in as simple as term in common English. Devil just mean your enemy.
That's right. Whoever's against you.
Right. Whoever's against you is your devil.
Yeah.
Right. And we've seen the black devil now.
Yeah.
Right. They left it all in the public domain, but they never would have thought we was gonna put it together. They told me it was like unscrambling the egg. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But got to be a way it could be done. If it's almost impossible, that means there's something that can be done to make that possible.
Yeah.
It's called alchemy. You can alchemize something back to its original, but you can't do it in 3D.
Right.
You have to do it in the 4D, 5D.
Right.
And when you come back to 3D, you got a whole fresh egg all over again. They call it turning back time.
Right.
But you don't literally have to turn back time. You go back through time in the memory. You're a time traveler whether you want to know it or not.
Right.
Because your bloodline in the past is talking to your bloodline in the future, and you just the answer in the middle.
Right.
That's thinking. Your bloodline from the past is talking to your bloodline of the future. And you just the messenger in the middle between the two.
That's deep.
And that's why people become oh man, you prophesied. No, it's not prophecy. It's listening. Then pointing out what you see.
Right.
It just if it happened, that's convergence. That's not prophecy. Right? That mirror that John D had gave birth to a program of the US military called Operation Looking Glass. It's now declassified. You can ask AI what was Operation Looking Glass. And it was the ability for them to use systems of probability to determine future outcomes in the course of events.
Yeah, and they got it at the Scottish Rites Lodge in Washington, D.C. The Scottish Rites Grand Lodge at D.C.
I wonder why it would be in the Scottish Rite Lodge.
Yeah, Grand Lodge. And look, Rob, they invite you there to bring you up to that degrees. They say you got to make a reasonable donation. And guess what the reasonable donation is? $50,000.
Who is it reasonable to?
That's what I'm saying. $50,000 a reasonable donation. It's not reasonable.
But you got to pay attention because knowledge is power. Mm-hmm. If you're paying for knowledge, you're paying for power.
Go ahead.
right? The only way to activate it is you need something called wisdom, where you can't activate the knowledge to maximize its output.
Right.
The
Right.
more you know, the further you go. You heard that one, didn't
Yeah. The more you go, the
you?
further you
Right.
go. Yeah.
What was the United Negro College Fund? A black
Yeah.
mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah. Marcus Garvey.
Right. So it's telling you all of the secrets in the open. Because that means that the key to your redemption is in your self-education, not the education by the system. Why? Because history is written by the victors. If you ain't coming from the victor standpoint, then you won't never understand history. But if you come from the one who was victimized standpoint and still feel like the victim, you're going to remain victimized because you're not going to fight for what's right because you've already been relegated to the learned helplessness of a victim. You got to think like a conqueror if you want to conquer. You can't think like a neighbor if you want to be a conqueror. Right? But everybody ain't got to know what you're thinking.
Right.
So the greatest conquerors can conquer from the mind and then let the effect manifest on earth. They call him an armchair revolutionary because they don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? So he's sitting back in the chair and he's talking to people in the public domain as the Greeks told the story around the fires that night. Right? And the people sit down at the open fire pit and they listen to the grid and he's singing and dancing and telling the story. And then when he get done, he taught them a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't even know they was learning. Right? Because he's bypassing the faculty of ignorance. In order for ignorance to be effective, you have to have a system to reinforce the person